This is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make an expandable charm bangle using the Artistic Wire 3D Bracelet Jig. Now for this, you'll only need 2 pegs for your Artistic Wire jig and 2 backers. So as opposed to the other video we have showing you how to use this, you only need 2 of these guys. I'm also going to be using 18 gauge craft wire. I have a mandrel here. You can also use any type of household item that will give you a bender tool, and I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to have my nylon tip pliers, my wire rounder tool, I have a pair of bent chain nose pliers, and my flush cutters. So let's go ahead and get started on making this expandable charm bangle. First, let's set up our Artistic Wire 3D Bracelet Jig. Now, like I said, you're only going to be using 2 pins for this, so go ahead and place one of them in one of the top pins there, and I'm going to put my backer on. And now you can adjust to make a wider or a shorter bangle, which is why this jig is actually really great to use. So I'm just going to move down 1 row and move over about 4 or so. So just like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put the backer on that one. So now my jig is all set and ready to go. So I'm going to take my 18 gauge wire and I'm going to go ahead and pull some of it off the spool. And you'll notice I'm going to keep most of it on the spool because it helps sort of give you that extra grip. So you'll be using about 15 or so inches of wire. Of course, that's a generous amount, but when you're wire wrapping, always safe than sorry. Go ahead and straighten out some of that wire for yourself. There we go. So now I have my wire that's all straightened and ready to go. And you'll notice that to the right, I have my higher one, and to the left, I have my lower one. So we're going to be focused on this one first. So first, I'm just going to take my wire and I'm going to loop it up and around. And now I'm just going to take the wire and bend around the jig, keeping that nice and tight. And go up and over the top, and now down, and I'm going to loop around, and there we go. So now your jig should look like this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my flush cutters, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to snip off that wire. You can set your wire aside. And now I'm going to snip off this wire right here. And go ahead and set that little scrap aside. So this is what your wire jig should look like at this point. So go ahead and remove your pins and be careful, this will sort of spring off. Oops, I don't even need to remove that second one. Set your jig aside. So this is what it looks like when you take it off the jig. So now you can take a mandrel or you can use a household item. I recommend using something that is about 6.5 to 6 inches around. And we're just going to kind of work our way around this and we're going to bend it into place. So just going to kind of work your wire around and just give it a nice bend. And you'll notice that because it's 18 gauge wire, it still sort of springs out. But you'll notice that it's already taking that kind of expandable bangle shape. Now before I go any further, I want to take my wire rounder tool and just kind of clean up those ends so it doesn't poke me. Just give it a nice twist there. Much better. And again on this one, oops. Much better. Okay. So now I have the form of my bangle. You can see it starting to take shape. So I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and I'm going to hold there and bend in. And now I'm going to kind of come in here and bend it down. So it's a little bit more of a sharper angle. I'm just going to repeat that on this side. In. Going in on that 90-degree angle right there and bending down. So now all you're going to do is just open it as you would a jump ring. And I'm just going to loop it onto my bracelet right there. There we go. And go ahead and close that loop up. And just repeat that on the side. I'm just going to kind of open up that loop, slip the bracelet inside, and go ahead and close that loop up. There you go. And now you have your expandable charm bangle. If you want, you'll notice I got just a little kink there, so I'm just going to take my nylon pliers and just kind of stamp that out. Just kind of squeeze all the way around. This is also helping to work harden it as well. So you can just kind of do that. And you are all set and good to go. There we go. You can kind of mold it with your fingers a little bit just to get it in that right shape that you want, and you can pull it tighter to get more of a shape, or you can make it a little looser. That's what's great about using the expandable bangle, is that you can really make it sort of adjustable for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I just want to show you, I do have another video showing you how to add beads and a charm to your expandable bangle that you will make with the Artistic Wire 3D Bracelet Jig. You can find all of these supplies and more at Beadaholique.com.